Thank you.
You're welcome. This is a studio that, oh, you know what? It's not until 12:30, and I didn't anticipate them not even being here until 12:30. So, I don't know if this ever happens to you with any of your other guests. Bobbi. Bobbi? Bobbi? Oh, okay.
Stupid.
What the fuck? Oh my god, I'm so annoyed.
Relax. Take deep breaths.
Where are you?
How you guys doing today?
All right. How are you? Are you comfortable with me just pushing the camera back to speed things up a little?
Yeah.
Great. You can be on the couch.
Cute.
What do you think about the chair?
You said the couch.
Yeah, I know. I'm really asking. I feel like the couch is better. Couch is better. I think it might be nice if we do chairs.
I think it'd be easier.
Yeah. All right. Now I guess what I'd like to. And we're all isolated tracks, right?
Yep.
Brilliant. And you guys normally do podcasts and stuff here?
Yes.
That's cool. What's cool about the studio is the bathroom keys are on a plunger. So if you piss and shit too big, you have it with your key. But we're going to get into it in a second. Before we do, is there anything you want to let me know? Anything that you need to like feel safe and good? I'll give you final cut after. If I say something that kind of makes you feel bad, we could take it out. But is there anything that's off limits? Well, turn the cameras off for a second. Is there anything you want to say while the cameras are off?
No.
Okay. I think I might need headphones because she whispers, honestly. So could I actually get some headphones?
I'm not wearing them.
You don't have to.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll get started in a sec. Does my hair look too wet? Honestly, does my hair look too wet? Should I keep the hat on? I like it drying in the hat. It keeps the curls.
The curls look good. They're a little shiny.
So maybe keep it on for a little bit, or you think it's fine?
Keep it on for a little bit.
Can I tell you something? Thank you.
You're welcome.
People think that people will often, when you ask them a question, they'll want to give you the answer they think you want to hear, which doesn't help you grow. Now I know. And now I know I could trust you.
You can't trust me, so it's fine.
I can't hear you yet. One sec.
Oh,
Say that again.
nothing.
Bobbi, funny stuff. You're working me up an appetite. Good thing this episode is sponsored by Factor Meals. I've used it. It's delicious. It's nutritious. And if you head on over to factormeals.com/TYSO50 and use code TYSO50, you'll get 50% off. That's code TYSO50 at factormeals.com/TYSO50 for 50% off. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Now, if you're socially awkward like Bobbi or just don't really know how to engage with people without doing way too many jokes all the time like me, you might be interested in understanding why it is you communicate or don't the way you do. Let therapy be your map. Head on over to betterhelp.com/TYSO for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TYSO for 10% off. All right. Well, I guess we'll get started in a second. Do you mind giving us a 20-second countdown?
For sure. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11.
I know what you're doing because you're sipping, but do me a favor, real quick. We'll start over. We'll edit this out. Still, just the one take out because my editor needs this for syncing.
Oh, for sure.
Thank you.
20, 19, 18, 17.
You know the words.
16, 15, 14, 13, 12.
You ready, Bobbi? Everything okay? We're gonna get into it.
10,
You okay?
9,
Tell me the truth. Are you okay?
7, 6.
Bobbi, be real. We have 4 more seconds to be real. Are you okay?
2.
Welcome back to another episode of Take Your Shoes Off. My name is Rick Glassman, and today our special guest is Bobbi Althoff. Am I saying that right?
Sure.
That's like the snowman from Frozen?
You're very funny.
Thank you. But my friends call me Rich.
Are you rich?
I mean, some people call me that. I go by Rick.
Wasn't funny the first time you said that.
Really?
Thanks for trying it again.
I like your tattoos.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bobbi.
Yes.
Bobbi. So this podcast doesn't have all the flash that yours does. This is more of a let's get to know each other and have a real conversation. But in order to do that, it's my job to make the guest opposite me's walls come down. So right now I see your walls are up. So may I ask you some personal questions?
No.
All right. Well, thanks. Hey, Bobbi. Bobbi, we had some fun in the hallway, and we had some laughs. We had some confusion. You didn't know what was real, what was fake.
Still don't.
But isn't that kind of what you do as well? What is it? How would you explain what you do then? Does everybody know what you're doing is fake? Or does everybody know what you're doing, think what you're doing is real?
It is real.
Everything is real.
Yes.
Okay. All right, well then you'll let me know if you want me to edit something up because we spoke on the phone about this already. And I said, are you comfortable having a conversation? I also have text messages, which we'll put up here. Are you comfortable
Don't fabricate text messages.
So this is just going to be what?
What?
Are you upset?
A little bit.
Tell me why.
After I had you on my podcast, you were like, oh, I'm going to have you on mine. And people kept saying that, oh, you should have Bobbi on your podcast. And you didn't ever get me on it. You didn't make it happen. But the second I finally start to take off, who calls me? You.
Question.
Yeah.
Did I call you or did you call me?
I called you for help. I didn't call you to come on your podcast.
And did I help you? Did I help you?
Sort of. That's not the point.
You're
You're trying to be funny, but
No, I'm being sincere because because at the end of our podcast, and now here's where I'm going to be like, well, you want to play your games, then I have receipts. Because at the end of the podcast that we did, you said to me, you had like a little bit of an off energy, and I said, that was fun. You said, really? I said, yeah. You're like, oh, I thought you were really mad at me. A lot of people think of me as a comedian, but people know also I'm an award-winning dramatic actor, and I love playing that kind of stuff.
Award-winning?
Yeah.
Like, who gave you the award?
The Hollywood Critics Association. The Television Academy.
I don't know. I'll probably take this award. I don't even know if I get one, but
I'll put it on the side of me during my podcast, and every now and then I'll probably just, acknowledge it and say, "I'm sorry, it's a television academy. Pardon me." It's just I don't know where else to put it. And then people will be like, "Is it heavy?" And I'll be like, "It's actually heavier than you would think it would be. Like, it actually, like, here, feel this. This is like," and they go, "Whoa, what'd you get this for again?" And I'll say, "As we see it, it's not on at the moment, but, we're really, really, really proud of it."
Mm-hmm. The bar is low then.
The Television
You're not
Academy
very-
runs the Emmys.
Okay. Continue.
Okay. And we spoke, and I said, I would love to have you on my podcast. Didn't I say that the day we met?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And then you never actually followed up.
A week later, I left. I've been gone for 2 months. I haven't been in LA for 2 months.
Okay, you didn't say come to New York and I'll do it. You could have said that. Don't act like you know what you did. Don't act stupid right now, please.
Okay.
Thank you. We can continue.
Do you think I only had you on this podcast?
Yeah, because you know it's going to get your numbers up. Same reason you had me tag you in my video of you. You didn't care about the tag before. You cared about it now.
Well, were we filming when she said she's going to take a picture of me? Yeah. We'll cut to that.
Post a picture of you.
And we're back. So that was you.
What? So that like you think that I'm going to get clout from your like 100,000 followers online?
I didn't ask you to take a picture or to tag me. I don't care.
I didn't. I took it.
Right.
Because I just thought it was fun. I thought we were kind of friends a little bit. You're mostly just an asshole to me and you pretend like you like me because you want the numbers.
Okay.
Your podcast is going a little bit downhill.
I could not post this. If you really feel that,
okay,
we could end this and I could
Then
not
don't.
post it. I'll let you make that decision. If you get up and leave, I won't show any of this stuff.
I'm doing you a favor. You came on my podcast when it was nothing, so I'm helping you. Your podcast is nothing right now and I'm doing you a favor.
Did you think I was doing you a favor?
You were.
I wasn't.
You were.
Do you know why I did it?
Because you wanted someone to get $300.
I thought what you did, I thought you posting $300 if you tag somebody, I thought that was clever. And I'm like, I'll do that.
Okay.
People
I'm
ask
saying
me-
you still did a favor for me.
I see.
You didn't have to do that, so I'm paying it back.
But then what am I getting? But what are you paying me back? Like I came on your podcast and
Were an asshole to me for 20 minutes.
All right. Hi, Rick.
is that part of the notes?
Yeah, it actually is. It says hi, Rick on my notes.
Show me.
No. You have an IMBD.
Internet movie beta days.
Mm-hmm. Don't try to be funny because you're not very funny.
Okay, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
I don't have sponsors. Do you want to sponsor me?
Like do a commercial for my podcast on your podcast
Mm-hmm.
and then pay you for that?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I make $0 from being here.
What's driving you to do this?
I lost $1,000 today
This was $1,000?
in total.
Do you think that it may have behooved you to not be 15 minutes late then?
No, I needed to pump for the kids that hate me at home.
What is this thing? What is this podcast? What are we doing?
I don't think that's very fair of you. You could teach me how to do a podcast instead of sitting here and making fun of me and being mean to me. I'm just trying my best.
Every long lost dream led me
Thank you. I hear it. I got it.
So no more?
No.
Okay.
Are you proud of yourself and where you're at today?
I am proud of myself of where I'm at today, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. Do you want to apologize to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to? Yes.
I am sorry that you're being an asshole.
Okay, that was really not an apology, Rick.
Did you pump in the parking lot or did you pump while you were driving?
While I was driving. in the
So how
parking
would
lot,
that make you late?
I had to pour the milk into the bags in the parking lot. and
Did it
then
take 10 minutes?
Yes.
I don't quite trust you. No.
You should trust me.
I'll give it a go.
The second time you've made me want to cry today. I've known you for like 40 minutes. 30 minutes.
Could have known me for 40 if you weren't pumping for so fucking long.
You're being really mean to me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you even told me this podcast, as of the time of recording, doesn't even exist yet.
Do you think yours will be better than mine?
I think that yours is going to do really well. It's
Yeah.
tough. Booking is one of the hardest parts of podcasting. But Mark Cuban often says it's not about working hard, it's about working smart.
So you don't think I'm working smart?
I don't know yet.
What did you learn today?
I had expectations, and that was my mistake.
Do you want me to come on your podcast next?
No.
Why not?
I didn't have a good time with you.
Okay. That's fine. All right, Rick, you can leave now.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Can you keep it going? I'm just going to plug some of my stuff.
I saw the comments. You read the comments. You were responding to the comments because you don't have anything better to do with your time but respond to comments under my video.
You know, I was hoping to get to know you a little bit on here, the way we've
Okay.
gotten to know each other off camera. And I see what you're doing.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You want to seem cool.
what does seem cool mean?
You're like, oh, I want my people to think, what do you call them?
Goblins?
Did you come up with that? Mm-hmm. And they just went along with it.
Mm-hmm. I did it as a joke at first because everybody has fan army names. And I was like, what's up, goblins? It was like just something that came to mind.
Okay.
And then people call themselves goblins, and it kind of became like that's what they call themselves now.
Okay.
Do you have a fan army name?
No.
Okay.
You would know that because you stalk me in your free time. Mm-hmm. You don't have to ask a question you know the answer to.
Okay.
Do you have anything else
Yeah.
you want to talk about?
I had questions to ask about.
Did you write them down?
No. I remember my stuff.
Okay, congratulations. You've been doing this for a lot longer. You're much older than me.
I'm 23.
You're not 23.
Okay.
I think we went over this when we did my podcast. You're like, what?
When you had all my information wrong, when you thought you knew where I was from and who I was dating and how much money I had and what car I drove and my age, and it was all off.
Okay. It's not my fault that no one actually cares enough to get that information right about you.
Jesus Christ, you're such a
You should put
My hair
that.
dry now?
It's not. You should put the hat back on.
Keep it on longer?
Yeah. You look pretty bad.
Since we're not going to get to know Bobbi, you know her a little bit. Can I interview you? Would you tell some things? Do you mind coming on?
I'm here for her.
I understand. Would you mind?
No, I wouldn't mind.
Come on in.
She's known me since she was 12.
Yeah,
so.
you could get out.
No, she's going to sit there.
Is this a microphone on? Okay.
Go ahead.
Will you let me know when you think it's time to take this off?
Yeah.
So when did you guys start working together?
We started working together about...
I'm so sorry because I have the headphones. You can't see. Could you bring the microphone a little closer?
We started working together about like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
And what were you doing before that?
Just supporting her.
Oh, that's interesting. You weren't doing a job though before that?
No, I was. Yeah.
What were you doing?
I was a billing specialist.
And you stopped doing that?
Yeah.
You probably would have stopped doing that a while ago if you had the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting that she didn't until your podcast took off? Do you think that she's using that as an opportunity?
To make money? Yes, obviously. She's not going to do it for free.
Are
She
you
needs
only
to
doing
make
this for the money?
No, she was hanging out with me before and now she's getting paid to do it.
How much are you getting paid?
That's not any more information.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's private.
Well, you were bringing up my money.
I don't care about your money.
Yeah, I've looked up your net worth. It said $5 million. How accurate is that?
It's spot on.
I don't really believe that you have that much money.
Again, it's how you define it. I love my friends. I love my family. I'm happy.
Do you own a house?
I don't. I rent.
Oh my God. It's really embarrassing, Rick.
You have none. We know that. We've established that. How much money she makes is none
Well,
of
I
your
don't have that much
business.
money now, but I make a lot of money, but I'm
That's-
supporting my grandma.
Oh, don't make stuff up.
I'm paying my grandma's
Maybe
bills.
go act in something else and make more money. They don't want you anymore?
Who's they?
I don't know the people who hire you.
To be honest with you, that's a sore subject because they were saying that they didn't like what I was doing.
I agree with them.
All right. Thank you for coming in.
No problem.
You know, you could be nice to her.
So what was
I
it?
get that you're an asshole to me, but be nice to her.
Did you think I was mean to you?
No.
What's that?
No, I don't think you're being mean.
Oh, if I do something that is, because sometimes like I do have a personality that is like I do silly stuff or dry stuff, and I didn't realize it. I thought everything was great, and in the hallway we were laughing, having a good time, and then now it's this. So I could like the way you told me about my hair. Please also tell me, but I'm okay. Everything's okay, honestly.
I would say just let a little bit of air get into
Thanks. No, but I meant like the way like talking and everything that we've been doing. This is fine. Like we were having a good time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Funny Marco, how was that? Do
Great, thank you. It's not comfortable.
you want to go over here?
No,
Do you want to switch seats?
I just want to be uncomfortable. Thank you.
We know.
Who are you talking to?
My goblins.
Go ahead. What was your question? Funny Marco.
I asked it.
Okay. I don't remember what you said, which is why I'm asking you.
I was
to repeat it.
asking an open-ended question. How was it, and how'd that go for you? And that's how Drake found you.
Yes.
And then I don't think you were chasing clout. I just think that would be a great guest. Why wouldn't? I remember when you called me because you were a little bit nervous and you're like, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I don't even have my podcast out yet. Could you help me with this? I've been helping you with this stuff. And I actually, even this morning, because I was texting, you were talking about how you were nervous to do
Okay, thank you.
live
That's enough.
television.
If you want to keep pulling stuff up, I'll start pulling stuff up
Pull it
about
up.
you. I don't want to because that's not what this is for. So
Thank you so much for the advice. I will definitely be taking it as I always do with your advice. See, the thing is, I get being like angry in the shtick, and I think you're really good at it. In fact, I even said that while we were doing the podcast together. But when you told me that we were going to be like having real conversation, and now you're not wanting to, I'm confused.
don't you think you could be a little nicer if you want real conversation?
I'll be fair that I don't realize I wasn't, because in the hallway we were laughing.
It's a game for her, and I get that, but I think she's really becoming this person.
How you're so mean. I do not like you.
Okay, cut to a clip.
Yeah, and then when we got in here, you thought it'd be funny just to switch into being an asshole to me.
I didn't realize that anything switched, so I could.
You can play it back.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's already been aired. Unless you want me to cut it out, you'll tell me after we could cut all that out. But in the meantime, how about I come in and try it differently?
Okay,
And then maybe same?
sure.
Should we both walk into it?
No, I'm sitting down. You can walk into it.
Okay.
Just in case we don't use any of the stuff that happened before, let's make it seem like she was already here and I was a little late. There was a person on the. I don't want to get into it, but and then everything was already set up. Would you do me a favor? Yeah.
20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7,
Psych.
6, 5,
She's really funny. I'm
4,
glad to do this.
3, 2.
Hey, Bobby, sorry I'm late. Hey.
Hi. What are you doing?
I was just gonna give you hello. Is that?
Sure.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I was coming in from the tunnel and there's a little bit of traffic, but I was watching I hadn't seen some of your older TikToks, the stuff you were doing like before the podcast. They were really, really funny. I saw a couple before when I did your first one, but it's fun to see you do that, like take that niche of like being a young mom and then expanding it into all this other stuff with the podcast. How's that been going?
Really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, Rick.
When I did your podcast, you told me that you weren't even having a podcast. You were just filming and posting clips. And then boom.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to?
What do you mean?
Like you're people are calling you an industry plant. You're not the only one. Go over to the plant. You got that? So, and they think that because like, where did this girl come from? I mean, sure, she had great mom content for a while, but like, where's she getting all these big celebrities? And here you are blowing up. You were on Good Morning America today. What was it? The Today Show?
Yes.
The Today Show. I keep getting them confused. I've done them all.
Okay.
And to me, I don't know which is which. I just know it's morning television.
Yeah.
Oh, heck, is it fun to do something like that? Were you nervous?
I was.
Why? Because it's live?
Yes.
Could you tell me, like, what was that experience like?
I don't feel like this is real right now. Like,
I can imagine because, well, I guess we're letting people in on it if we didn't show the beginning part. I can imagine because it's such a difference, but I'm being sincere now. Like, it's really cool to do that stuff. And this is your first time on television?
yes.
And your first time on television is live television.
Yes.
I mean, that's nerve-wracking.
Uh-huh.
What would you like for me to make you feel comfortable?
Maybe if you didn't start this off by being so mean, I would be able to, if you had just started it off being nice, then
So there's no recovery now, huh?
I don't know. I'm trying.
I believe that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Can I tell you something? And it might be because this is kicking in a little bit. For the first time since we sat down, I feel like I see you now. That I'm trying that you just said, I believe.
Thank you.
I get that. I know what it's like to be in some form of a character and then like trying to balance that in and out with sincerity. And then like, well, once you reveal this, you can't go back to it. That was my stand-up for a very long time. Like, well, I can't let them in on it. And not to get into that now, unless you're interested, we could talk about that later. But like part of the craft of that is like going in and out of both without negating the other one. And I would like to have a real conversation with you.
Okay.
But you don't feel like you're in the pocket yet, right? Is that what's happening? Are you a little nervous?
I don't know what to say to you.
I gotta say, and again, maybe it's this. I do feel like I'm seeing you now. I feel like it's coming.
Okay.
Did you finish your coffee?
Yeah. Did you buy me another one? Do you have water for me?
Yeah.
I got fucking Bobbi Althoff. I'm frozen.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
This, I don't need all of this because this is cold brew and it just lights me up. I don't know if that's weird, but if you still have your cup, I could pour some of this.
I'm good with the water. Thank you, Rick.
You're welcome. Oh, it's my grandma. She needs another 100,000.
You don't have 100,000, Rick.
What's that?
You don't have 100,000.
Okay. This is the best it's going to be, right?
Yeah. It's the lighting.
It's what?
It's the lighting.
What is it doing? Do you see? How does my hair?
I think your hair looks great, Rick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're going to do a lot of trimming. We're going to figure out, we're going to make it all flow beautifully.
Yeah.
So I'm very
Okay.
excited with where we're going with this.
Yeah, is that why you keep checking the time?
That was my grandma. I was just making sure things are okay.
I'm sure you were.
She had this-
I'm not interested.
Okay.
Okay.
So you made some videos. And you were doing well on TikTok.
Yep.
And dare I say, not well enough.
Yeah. Dare you say?
And you had dreams of bigger things.
I did.
So you started posting clips as if it was a podcast.
No, tried posting videos first, and they weren't doing so well.
Videos
So
on
I was
YouTube?
Yeah. I just didn't have the rhythm of things. They were too long and just not working.
So you were posting full things, not just clips.
Well, like sort of trimmed down, but not the full thing.
Right.
So it wasn't working. I didn't know what to post yet or how to trim it. So
And what would you say this isn't going to work for everybody, but people who are doing this stuff, what would you say that you figured out, oh, this version works?
yeah, if you get celebrities, it works.
But you were doing like our clips before you had celebrities on. We're still getting great views.
Yeah, the clips always did well, but the podcast didn't.
But you never posted the podcast.
Well, on YouTube,
right.
it didn't. It took the funny Marco video for me to get views. Actually, I thought our video had a lot of views on YouTube. For me,
For
it did.
a new channel,
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah, so ours was the first one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I left our episode up. Is it was the first one that did well.
Question, real question for you here.
Okay,
We didn't meet before that.
it's true.
And you came in and the podcast started.
Yeah,
And you told me it gets a little awkward. And I said, this is where I live and breathe. And I'm totally comfortable with this.
yeah.
And then we went and it got pretty contentious, similar to how this did before you had your water. And then afterwards, you felt that maybe I was mad.
Oh yeah,
Knowing that has changed this for me now. Because I believe you when you say you don't know what's real and what's not.
yep.
Which is hard to believe because you do the same thing.
I know, but I feel like it's more obvious when I do it. You're really good at it.
Well.
I'm not.
What do you mean by that?
You're an actual actor.
But good at it is subjective. Good at being believable.
Yes.
So you don't want to be completely believable.
No. I would like people to know that I'm normal as I can be
You said, what does that
outside of
mean?
it.
Because I have autism?
Are you kidding me right now?
Is that why you said that?
I hate you.
I'm just a little quirky and different, but I'm just like you.
I said my normal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Don't do that. Don't put words in my mouth.
People understand. People get that's a joke.
That's not what I meant, and you know that, so.
Are you okay that I have autism? Because that's why you said you're doing this. You said you want to do this for the goodwill.
This has nothing to do with you having autism.
Speaking of goodwill, and we could bleep this out if you want.
Gulp, gulp, gulp.
I had on my podcast 4 years ago, and I hear potentially this is something that's going to be happening with you. And if that's something that's private, by the time this comes out, we could bleep that name.
Okay.
But very exciting.
You had him on your...
4 years ago, and we never posted it. And
I don't believe that.
I mean, I'll show you the clips after, but...
Why wouldn't you post it?
So it was in 2019, and I met him in 2004 or 5 when I was in college bowling. I went to college when I was 8 years old. And I was bowling, and I almost bowled a perfect game. He was at the bowling alley. I met him. It was a little thing. Years later, I saw him out, and I said, I'm the perfect game guy. And we recorded something, and it was like 25 minutes, and we were going to do a part 2. And then COVID happened, and then he's busy. But we were always planning on doing the part 2 and putting them back to back. And that hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
But is that a secret? Like, should we edit around this? Is that not something you're revealing yet?
Nope, not revealing yet.
Okay, we'll bleep it. So the believability conversation is like is a religion to me. Like having these conversations with my friends and stuff. When do you let people in on it? What does it cannibalize when you let people in on it versus creating that tension before they then get it? And you said you're not a comedian. Do you think that?
Yeah, I don't find myself to be funny, so.
Why do you think your videos are doing so well?
They're awkward. People don't get it.
They get it. People think it's funny. For real. You know that the awkwardness is because it's funny, right?
I just feel like awkwardness can be funny. That doesn't make me funny.
So you don't think of yourself as a funny person?
I wouldn't describe myself as a funny person.
How would you sell, if you didn't have this podcast out yet and you knew you could, forget the guest for a second, just what the brand of it is, the tone of it, how would you sell it to somebody? Like tell them, hey, this is what I'm doing.
I honestly don't know. Maybe you could answer that for me. I don't know. I don't know what the point of it is still. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why people think it's funny. I think it's funny sometimes, but I don't know why I think it's funny. So I don't know.
I think where the success of it lies at the moment, I say at the moment, not as if it won't continue, but I mean specifically now that you have these huge guests, is seeing you're the foil for these people that they never get to see them that way. Mm-hmm. They're seeing people doing something that they normally don't see them do. Why do you think Drake wanted to do it?
It's his type of humor. Humor.
How are you feeling right now?
Great. Thank you for asking.
Tell me the truth. Is this okay? Because I'm feeling like what are we allowed to get into? Like how much are you wanting to even?
I feel like it gets normal and I can talk to you and then
We'll be back to the episode in a minute, but right now I want to tell you a little bit more about Factor meals for 2 reasons. First, because I know you're hungry and sometimes figuring out what to eat, it's a little difficult. And second, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm trying to make a little bit of money. Now, would I take this money if I had Factor meals and I thought it wasn't fantastic? Absolutely not. Have I turned down a lot of sponsorships before? I have. So here's the deal. From the comfort of your own home, you could treat yourself to 34 plus restaurant quality options. Bruschetta shrimp risotto, green goddess chicken, grilled steakhouse, filet mignon, ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Calorie conscious. Need extra boost to support your wellness goals this summer? Try Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein or more per serving. There's a big variety here. Check this out. Cinnamon pancakes, bacon and cheddar egg bites. You'd like that, wouldn't she, Bobbi? And potato, bacon, and egg breakfast skillet. All these flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, to your door, to your door, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes with no prep and no mess. Want to stop dealing with the question, what am I going to eat today and how do I make sure they're quality ingredients? Then head on over to factormeals.com/TYSO50 and use code TYSO50 to save 50% off. That's code TYSO50 at factormeals.com/TYSO50 for 50% off. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. If you have been along the take your shoes off journey for a while, you know I love therapy. And if you are new to this, then buckle up and enjoy because we get into the nitty gritty of why are we the way we are. Therapy is for everybody, whether there's certain traumas you want to work through or just your everyday, you're feeling a little anxious, you're not quite sure why you're feeling the way you're feeling, you don't have somebody to talk to, you don't want to bother the people talking about the same things, or the advice that you're getting might not be the best advice. If you've been thinking about giving therapy a try, there's probably a reason you haven't, and that's because the barrier to entry might be difficult, like where do I go? How do I find a good therapist? That's where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp matches you up with a clinical licensed therapist, and if you don't like that therapist, you could switch whenever you want from the comfort of your own home at no extra cost. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/TYSO for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TYSO, TYSO for 10% off.
Thank you. We can continue.
Bobbi, relax. We're coming. Okay. But that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah, I
being
don't
able to
like
do
that
stuff.
though.
So you want it
Just
to either
be-
be this or this.
Yeah.
So it could just be the way we were playing for the first 20 minutes, or it could just be this, but you don't want to do this.
Yes. Exactly.
I don't know, man. I mean,
Just be
why?
normal.
I have autism.
Okay.
And my language is play. And that's what I loved about doing your pod. What's funny is the first time we did it, I loved that shit. I loved the awkwardness. And I knew that some of it was real. Some of it was you not knowing. And same with me. I was just playing everything as if it were real. But then when we were done, you were uncomfortable and thought I didn't like you. And I was like, that was fucking fun. I would love to have you on my podcast after a couple months and if you get Drake on. There was an example of me being serious and making a joke. How come?
That was a good joke. It wasn't like you being an asshole. Well, I guess you were. I don't know why that one didn't make me.
The beginning
defensive.
of our podcast, you came in and you were just calling me out. I wasn't coming in trying to play an asshole.
No, I know. I'm saying right now. Oh, I didn't know what was happening during our episode.
I was, and from my perception, I was just matching your energy.
Yeah, I know, but people don't normally do that to me. They just like.
Gotcha.
So that kind of, and you kept yelling at the guy who was like filming it.
Nice to the guys that I film it. Hey, you're on me?
And I couldn't tell if that was like real, fake. I didn't know what you were doing. I still don't know, actually, to be fully transparent with you. When you're being serious and when you're just an asshole. Are you an asshole like a little bit?
I mean, that's not for me to say. I don't think so.
When you're being an asshole, is that the real you or is that just like...
No, that's 100% playing. But I do know that some people don't know it's playing. I also know some people don't care that it's playing.
Yeah, they just think it's mean.
Yeah, but it's matching energy. Like,
okay, but the camera guy
at the studio,
you made him count down from 20. I don't feel like you should have done that.
Did you think that was playful, the countdown from 20? You knew it was a bit, right? He even took the sip and was the silent, like from Wayne's World.
And then you got mad at him.
Did you think I was really mad at you?
A little bit. He did. He's just being nice right now to you.
What? Do you think I was mad at you?
Okay, you know what?
But for real, I love this stuff because you live in a world where a person lives in a world where they believe what they believe, and you believe he was mad. So now your comedy or your humor, your awkwardness is built around a protection of him thinking this, so I need to lean in this way. But people get it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I thought you knew that I was being playful with you.
How would I know that?
I didn't. Well, not
like you kind of just like weave in and out of it. I kind of sometimes think you're nice, and then you just like out of nowhere turn mean. It's confusing.
Do you often feel that people are being mean to you?
Yes.
Right. Without revealing who it was, there was somebody that you were texting with. And you said, is he always like this? Is he mean or is he just, remember that?
Yeah.
And I told you that's not being mean. He was just being direct.
Yeah, I don't like when people are direct.
Interesting.
I feel like instead of being like, if I said, Rick, what level are we on? If you just replied 5.
What do you mean by level? I don't know.
I'm just saying, I'm giving you an example. If you were like, what level, what floor are we on?
Yeah.
And you just replied 5, I'd be like.
Yeah, but you're asking a question for logistics.
I know.
This
I'm
is
saying
performance.
you can sandwich things with like kind words.
By sandwich,
Make
do you mean weaving in and out? Is that what you mean? Bun meat or faux meat bun sandwich?
Wow, look at you, so clever.
So you are admitting that you don't think you're funny. You're finding value in your awkwardness, and you think other people are mean. That's a recipe for what your podcast is in a very beautiful way. For real, like that is what this is.
Yeah.
But you haven't been doing it very long, and that's not how you would describe it yet.
I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what I'm doing. So if you want to help me describe it, help me figure out what I'm doing. You seem to know what you're doing. So
I will concede I know what I'm doing. But that doesn't necessarily translate to people liking it. I mean, I know people like it, but I mean, you're blowing up.
I'll be going downhill soon, I'm sure.
I believe that. I just don't think it's going to be soon.
Thank you.
I think that you still have a while yet.
How long?
All right, here's what I really think. I think that at least 2 to 3 months. And with that, I believe you will continue to find your pocket and your intention of why you're doing stuff, finding the stuff that's been working. And I think you're going to keep getting better. And as you do that, it's going to keep working, but not because of the novelty of the guests, but because you're going to find that sweet spot. And it's interesting for somebody to have such a big stage before they believe they found that sweet spot yet. And I think that's a very interesting thing about your podcast. And I would love for you to speak on that if you...
I agree with you. I mean, I think it's weird between even just guests. Like, I feel like
I thought you were going to say between two trees. Is that not okay to weave?
You didn't think I was going to say that, so I don't know why you said that. I know you didn't think that either. So if you want to cut me off, then don't ask me questions, especially when I'm trying to be genuine.
That's fair. I was being playful. I'm genuinely interested.
I'm genuinely not going to answer it anymore. So,
Bobbi, you're getting upset when I make jokes. This is a comedy podcast. I'm just making jokes.
It's not funny.
That's
what you just did wasn't funny.
Did you think him counting down from 20 was funny?
No, I thought that was mean. I don't think being mean to people is funny. I guess you know what? That's fair enough. I get the irony in me saying that, so I take it back.
But like, that's what I want to like get into with you.
I get it. I get what you're...
Because I love it. I love this shit. I love people, for my brand, people used to say, and some still do, that I love making people uncomfortable. I don't love that. What I love is being able to turn uncomfort into funny. And the cost of that is making people uncomfortable. And the risk is not being able to land it. So, for example, with you and I and the chemistry we have, I feel like a lot of times we get that awkwardness and sometimes we land it and sometimes we don't. And when we don't, it's like, oh. But when we do, oh, what a fun. But that's what you do. And you're saying, and I'm not diagnosing you with this. This is what you're saying. But like, you don't know that you're doing that. And I find that interesting because you have such success in literally doing that thing.
I'm just, yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying. I guess I just haven't tried to see it from an outsider perspective yet, so I don't really understand it fully.
From an outsider perspective in podcasting or in comedy in general?
All. I guess, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know I just haven't figured it out. I mean, yeah, I think it's very surprising that I've had the success I've had without fully even understanding what I'm doing myself. But I do find some of the things I do funny, and yeah.
What you're doing... I told my girlfriend right after we did this podcast that I really liked your podcast and I think it's going to do really well. And I liked what you were doing. And specifically, I told her, you said you don't know what you're doing, but you're still hiring camera crews. You're editing it yourself. You're trying to do it. And most people don't do that. Like starting something is hard. So I think you give yourself a little bit more credit of, you know what you're doing. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm just... taking it day by day. And if it works, it works. But when it doesn't work, I get really discouraged. And I'm like, all right, I'm done forever. I'm throwing in the towel. And yeah, so it's like, so far it's been well received. I guess it's like surprised me.
Could you give an example of a time in your life where things were going a certain way and then there was a bit of an obstacle and you threw in the towel?
I've never thrown in the towel, I guess. I've just wanted to. Not never. You said a time in your life. I meant, okay, in the podcast, I've never thrown in the towel, even though I've wanted too many times. In my life, I've given up so many things, I guess, but they weren't going well. I don't know. I give up a lot. So I'm surprised that I had, like, the podcast, it was only a matter of time before I just gave it up. But it didn't, I haven't had to yet.
So when you first,
I'll give it up though. The first sign of it not doing well, I'll be done.
tell me the truth. How much? What do you mean? How much of that is real?
What? Oh, that'll give it up?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. If I start to think it's not doing well,
And
on to the next thing.
And how do you think that services you? Real question.
It has so far, because I feel like I can tell when things are just not working anymore, and then I move on to the next thing. I'm not like giving up my life or like giving up. I still think that like dry humor and stuff is like my thing. So if it doesn't work and translate well into a podcast for, more than 3 months, then I will just go on to the next thing.
It's going to be going on for more than 3 months. I think you're going to start. I think you're going to be liking this more and more.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting more and more fun as each episode goes on, and I start to really kind of understand what I'm doing a little bit more, and like I get to figure out what my objective is with each episode, and like why do people even like this? Why do I like doing this? What is fun about this?
Could you give an example of something that you've learned that now you take on to the next podcast?
Well, I feel like in the beginning, I was mostly just being an asshole, and I was just like kind of
interesting.
Yeah, interesting. I was doing what you do.
What do I do?
Be an asshole.
I was mirroring.
Okay, fine, but
Helen mirroring.
yeah, that's why our episode was just us being assholes to each other the whole time. I was doing that, but now I actually try to learn about people while being just more dry, but not trying to just be an asshole the whole time.
So
but also I don't want it to just be awkward. I want it to kind of be funny. Like I'm trying to, I'm figuring out who I am and what my thing is.
So when you go into a podcast with Drake, which was the first of like that level thing.
Yeah.
Did you have that intention in mind?
I had no intention in my head. And during it, I remember thinking so many times, like, this is so bad. I'm not being funny. I'm not like, this is just not. I remember just like thinking that during it. Like, this is not what you can see me thinking that. I
believe, and maybe I'm crazy or maybe everybody else thinks they could do it. I believe I have some superpowers. And one of them, your intention, I believe, is very similar to mine, that our comedy comes from a very defensive place. And if I'm going to feel uncomfortable, I'm going to control that uncomfort, and I'm going to make other people feel that way. And that's going to then give me confidence in that uncomfort. And then you find your skill in there. And with that, I could see when people are present and then when they're not. And when they're not present in awkwardness, they're uncomfortable because you're in your head. And I saw it a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I think that those moments are the moments to be able to make jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think Drake had a good time?
Yeah. I think I actually like watching it over. It's just funny because I feel like I was in my head a lot of it. But watching it over, I was like, oh no, that was actually like, I actually am really like proud of the episode. And I was like, oh, that actually turned out really well. And it's like, I actually like laughed at certain things in it and I thought it was pretty funny. But during it, I was like, oh my God, it was actually just really awkward.
Right.
And I think he felt that during it. I felt that during it. It was a very
There were
like
a couple of sip takes that were real downbeats, I felt like.
Where? Like which one?
Right before he gave it to you to hold on to and you said, I'm not a cup holder.
Oh yeah. I didn't even know how I thought of that, but people liked that part.
Would you call that comedy or humor?
What's the difference?
Yeah, exactly.
So it wasn't
first base. So when you left the Drake interview, were you like, ugh.
Yeah.
Do you think I can't post this?
Oh, for sure. I was like, I was like, dude, you had such a moment. Like you could have had something that would have like changed your life and you ruined it. And then I watched, like once he sent it to me, I was like, oh God, that was like Drake.
Oh, it was his camera people?
Yeah.
So he obviously wanted to look over it before he sent it to you? Right.
Well, but he sent me the uncut version, but he trusted that I wouldn't post it. And I watched it over and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like there's actually so many like good moments in this. And it's like, I was like, this is going viral for sure. Like this is like, there's good moments because I thought they were actually funny. I was worried that I'd watch it over and be like, that's not funny at all. Because I've done that. Like I've done ones that I've taken down where I watched it over and I was like, there's nothing even funny in this. Like it's not, what are you even doing? But his episode was like, I feel like besides the funny Marco and yours and funny Marco, which is why I left those up, were like the first ones that I feel like I saw and I was like, oh, I actually can see the humor in this.
Yeah.
Because I'm obviously, like I said, still trying to find the humor in it.
I loved
So,
our episode.
I did too. I've watched it a few. So like that one, the Funny Marco one and the Drake one, and like now all of them are ones that actually, now I
Smart.
don't even have time anymore to do it.
Say, to say, and everybody, and all of
And
them.
all of the ones.
Yeah.
No, but like were ones that I actually could, because I've had ones in the past that were like long and just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just didn't, I'm starting to fully like ours though. I remember watching a few times and I was like, oh, that's like, I liked the discomfort. I liked the awkwardness. I liked it and I could watch it and I liked it.
I have some more questions about the feeling of the Drake episode, but I want to connect for a second. I maybe because I've been doing it a little bit longer, or whatever. I don't really get nervous doing this stuff. I mean, kind of, but it doesn't. I don't have much experience. Like, oh no, but I did when I had Bill Burr on. And do you know Bill Burr?
No.
Okay, you're not in the stand-up comedy world, but he is one of the kings of stand-up. He's he's many people's favorite comedian today. I was so nervous when he came on. And like we talked about it and blah, blah, blah. And I was able to be present a lot. And then sometimes I was like not. And when it was done, I was so embarrassed. And I called my mom and my buddy John on this so I could have it like the opening. So I could like, before people come in, they know like I'm so nervous. And I told my editor that, shout out to JonMichael, that I don't know if we could post this. And then I watched it and I fucking loved it.
Dude, what the fuck? Your clock says 10:06 right now. What is going? Is that part of autism?
Yeah.
What the fuck is autism, by the way? All I know is you just...
I guess we're keeping this in if this is what we're talking about.
No, but you can't talk about it. Like everybody gets all like, I'm on that spectrum. And you're like, all right, well, what does that mean? And they get like all fucking mad at you like,
I could explain it pretty easily.
Okay, shit.
Are you sitting down? There are a lot of different character traits that people on the autism spectrum have. It doesn't mean they're autistic.
Talking with your hands.
Talking with your hands. Learning to be expressive. Not picking up on facial cues, facial recognition, obsessive compulsive disorder, narrow focus, nonverbal, difficulty adapting to different situations, sensitive to sounds, smells. There's like a whole bunch of things, right? And the idea of the spectrum isn't really, people think it's how far on the spectrum, like how fucking autistic are you?
Yeah.
That's not what it means.
How deep does it go?
The spectrum is...
Like how metal are you?
Right. That's not how it works though.
Okay.
Like, are you an 11? It is, loved it. And I think it's interesting to think something's bad, not based off what it is, but just our insecurities completely take over our reality. So my question is, after having that experience with Drake, next time you feel that, are you do you think you'll be able to be like, I've been here before. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that something to grow from that? Yeah,
I think that now I've noticed that every time I do feel that, it does end up translating to it actually did work. Like because it's like, it is an awkward podcast, right? Like so it genuinely does get awkward and it does get uncomfortable. And I kind of now in my head just tell myself like, that's okay. This is like, it's gonna be okay. Like you're gonna watch this over and it's gonna be good. And it's so far worked every time that like I watch it over and I look at it and I'm like, oh, okay, like it worked well.
As you keep doing this, that awkward and uncomfortable thing is going to become more of a tone of the product and less an actual emotion in your body because you're going to be so used to it. Do you have a take on like how much you're using that awkwardness to be believable? And once you become more confident in that, do you feel you'll be able to rely on that the same?
I don't know. I think I will because I definitely see it becoming less and less. I think it gets better the less uncomfortable and awkward I become because it's like I'm easier. Like I'm better at landing like the jokes that I want to tell, and I'm better at like I don't know. Just I like did an episode just a few days ago, and I felt like it was really easy, and I felt less awkward and uncomfortable. And even the one with Mark Cuban, I felt like less awkward and uncomfortable in.
But do you still want to have awkward and uncomfortable?
I don't know. I like it, but like I
want it to be,
well, no, I want it to be like, it seems more, I don't know, awkward, but not in a way that I actually felt awkward type of way.
So having jokes and being silly and awkward and then also being serious? Yeah,
I want it to be like, just what are you doing?
Well, that's what you were...
Why are you trying to do that so much?
Sandwich it.
Okay. I get what you're doing. You're really smart. I mean that like seriously.
Thank
You're
you.
very
You
smart.
could just say autistic.
You don't have to. Okay.
So I want to talk. Are you having a good time?
I'm like
You're figuring it out still.
I'm kind of. So yeah, it's okay. I have to pee really bad.
Just go. They throw these away.
Thank you. I drank the whole coffee you brought me.
Jesus!
Hate you.
Bobbi, stop!
Let me inject you.
Hey, Bobbi.
Hi, Rick.
I'm surprised you had anything left. It's good to be back. So I want to make sure I get back to the Drake questions that I have, but I want to stay in this pocket of leaning into the awkwardness because we feel like we have to versus like when we choose to do it. How was tell me again, was it the Today Show? I keep forgetting which one.
The Today Show.
The Today Show. Were you awkward on it?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think she was awkward on it?
I think a little.
I felt like I wasn't at all, but that's great. Thank you, Grayson. You're fired.
Jesus. Would you say that part of your comedy is being an asshole?
Nope.
You have such a big stage from when you were first starting out on this thing. And I think it's going to be cool moving forward 2 years, 5 years, however longer than that. Like, not only will we see what you used to do, but also see like you becoming a comedian.
Be cool.
All right. So the Drake thing, you think it's not good?
I think it's good now.
I know. I'm saying like right when you finished.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
Go back to where before it was. You told me that, what was the order? You had me on the podcast. I know you had other people before.
Yeah.
But you had me on the podcast. And then why did Funny Marco come on? How did he find it?
Someone, like, I was doing that $300 thing.
Yeah.
Someone saw our episode and they commented under it. I think it was our episode. Commented under it and was like, "You have such a similar sense of humor as Funny Marco, so you should get him on." And I was like, "If you get him on here, I'll give you $300."
Right.
And I took a screenshot of that, posted it to my Instagram story, and I tagged Funny Marco, which I had never seen him before that. I tagged him and I said, "If you want this girl to win $300, come on my episode." And he saw it. So he was like, "I'll do it." So I sent her $300, and the next time he was down, I like got him an Uber to my house and I did it with him.
And how'd you feel after that one?
That one, I thought that was not going to be funny at all because it was so uncomfortable. Like, he made me uncomfortable so many times. And it was like, I didn't know if what I was saying landed. I felt like I was very like shy in it. I didn't know how to because I feel like with you and him, you guys are like established comedians and I'm not. So then you're welcome.
That's what you were saying when we were on the phone. You were talking about like how well known and respected.
Yeah, you are. I know you like to hear that.
I fucking love to hear that.
No, but you really are. I feel like your name carries a lot of weight.
Would you say I have a strong presence in the podcast community?
Not the podcast community, the comedy community.
Maybe comedy podcasts?
Maybe just comedy.
So Funny Marco comes on. You now are uncomfortable. And what does that have to do with us being what you consider to be established?
You guys know what you're I don't know. You know what that means.
I'm not being self-deprecating when I say this.
You guys have been doing this for a while. You have your like persona established. You both have like he's very much, he knows what he's doing when he gets into character. I thought you meant established,
like people know who we are because people don't know me.
Not because you guys just have been doing this and you're like, you've got it down. Yeah, you've got your thing down. I don't, and mine's kind of evolving and changing every single interview I do.
So you felt the same after Funny Marco as you did Drake. Not the same weight to it, but like, fuck, I blew it. I didn't do this.
Yeah.
When did you stop feeling that way?
I mean, I still feel that a little bit every time I do one.
You didn't feel it about the Today Show.
I know.
That one was,
but that wasn't supposed to be
your
funny.
Agent, not good.
Yeah, I know. But see, apparently it wasn't good.
Was it good though?
It was fun. It was a Today Show.
It was good.
It was good.
Do you know how to read between the lines on that stuff?
Yeah, I do.
That's why you got to leave WME and go to CAA. Get him? What would be your pitch? Why do you think, for people who are in this business who are now getting into comedy or acting or whatever, why do you think WME is one of the biggest agencies?
Number 2. What would be my pitch? It's because I spit all over myself.
Yeah, that's hey. That's WME for you. If you want an agent who literally drools all over himself and gives the talent lie answers, WME. Also, I'm thinking about going with WME to Andrew, so if so, I'll bleep around that.
I honestly thought I really did not think the Today Show was bad. It's just awkward.
How could she do it better next time?
There's nothing you could do better about
You
that.
fucking crushed it, I hear. I also didn't see it, but are we allowed to show clips of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah. So this is it for you.
Well, this isn't it for me. I hope I'm going to have a couple more years of happiness.
I hope that for you too.
Yeah. I didn't know what I did there, but she asked me to do the character. I did it.
But you were real up top.
Yeah, it was like going great. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good first time on live television.
So just so we're clear, I was fucking around. I'm sure you did good enough. So back to Funny Marco. You did Funny Marco, and then Drake followed you, and he told you, hey, Drake followed you, right? You didn't even notice at first?
Yeah. He called me and he said, do you see who just followed you? And I was like, what? And I looked and I was like, oh my God.
What does that feel like?
It was just like, it's Drake.
Right.
So it felt pretty cool.
According to the podcast, it seemed like maybe you weren't a huge fan of his, though. You just know him.
And like part of it, yeah. And so like that's the thing about my sense of humor is that it's like, I guess it's just, I don't know, you have the same sense of humor. It's like also
sometimes you're an asshole.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. No, but not in an asshole way. It's just like I genuinely like, I knew who he was.
Sure.
I didn't realize how big he was, I guess.
You're saying like, tall.
How well known he was.
Established?
How well known he was. I didn't realize like that, like he was that, like it's like I didn't realize like everyone kind of knew who he was.
People used to call me Drake a lot because I used to look like him a little. Put up a picture.
Is that what Drake looks like?
And because we're both Jewish.
You guys are.
And we're both really good rappers.
Yeah.
Freak street economic. No stop the rhythm rhyme it. Pop lock and divine it.
My daughter passed when she was 7 years old. I cried, I grieved, I had to bury her soul. I thought, damn, this is loving life and living it, killing it, loving it, silliness. So I mask it inside, I bury hidden it. Joke be nothing but fire breaching the girth, breaching your worth. Lord Jesus Christ is taking the earth, I scorched. I heard it when I heard it, Lord above a 39. I push it in cleavage, in the night and cordon, it's done. Hitting up on my factory. It's that, factory, mastery. Back to the back, tactory, tack, take it back to me. Now I live it and love it and take it, live it, yeah. And now we hold it on his hose on. Yeah. Take a look inside my soul. It's black as fuck. Yeah, but it's black and gold. Yeah, I'm young, bitch, but I'm also young and old. I say I got a hot ass, but my ass is hot and cold. Cause sometimes I do, sometimes I don't want it. No, don't want it. No, do not go into the. We know how it goes if you can't bop. Bye, bitch. Coming through the back door. Yeah. You got it, bye. Here we go. Take it back. Oh, no, take it on. Step up to the middle of a motherfucking blizzard where niggas are living and hoping the rooftop.
So Drake follows you. You're like, I know this guy. I've heard of him. I don't know how tall he is, but I'm sure I'll be surprised when I get there. And then from him following to you reaching out, or as you called it, throwing out a Hail Mary, I believe you told me, yes? You said, I threw out a Hail Mary? Is that not the term you used?
I've never used that term in my life.
What religion are you?
Nothing.
And you didn't think he was going to necessarily say yes?
No, of course not. I didn't think he would. I thought the chances of him saying yes were like 1%.
What did you do? Did you just say hey first, or did you right away?
Oh no,
message?
I went one message.
What did you say?
I said, would you come on my podcast?
You didn't say, what up, Drake?
No, I just said, would you come on my podcast?
You know, I think that's a problem because I messaged him. I said, "What up, Drake? Do you want to come on my podcast?" And I think it was the "What up, Drake" that threw him off.
I'm sure that was what it was.
Do you think when he messaged you that it was legit? Like, what did he say? Yes?
He said it's like, I forgot exactly what he said, but it was something about like along the lines of we have similar senses of humor. He just did a different one that was like that's why I thought he did. The 1% came from him doing one that was awkward.
Right.
I was like, okay, like he does awkward interviews. So maybe he'll say yes. I didn't think he would actually say yes. And he did. And then like 3 days after that, I flew to Memphis.
Yeah, tell me the logistics. He says yes. So then what? How do you find, I mean, there's his camera people. He said, how do you, location, cameras?
Well, it's just because he's, it's obviously he's tall. He was about to go on tour. So I was like, he basically like laid out his schedule and I knew that the sooner I did it, the better. So I just made it work. I was like, okay, could you do it like now, basically? And he was like, yeah, I guess. So
what has been the response of Little Yachty chewing so loudly into the microphone?
Let's both go.
Excuse me?
Let's both go since we're his best friends.
Where are we going?
People don't like it. People don't like it. I haven't watched our full interview.
Oh, you didn't edit that one?
No, I don't edit them anymore. My videographer has been editing it.
I have to give you a little advice.
Yeah.
Let them edit it. Watch your podcasts.
I have realized that now. I've learned that now.
Tell me
I'm
why.
back to, because I got like, I would read comments and I'd be like, dang, why do you leave that in? I hated that part. And then I was like, I don't want to have that feeling anymore of like, why did that get left in? So I was like, I need to start watching them over.
Another reason to watch them, and I say this because advice, a little intention to have while watching them, is to also, like I would do on mine and see stuff and like I would either not be interested in the topic or interrupt with a joke, which I still do way too much, but a lot less than I used to. And I'll see like, I'll be able to watch me as like I'm watching this person and just like, oh, that's no, I'm fucking up the flow, or I like that, lean more into that stuff.
Yeah.
And especially because you're finding your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Not only seeing the things that you don't like or that you want to do different, but also like finding what it is that your wheelhouse is and like.
Gotcha.
Excuse me. Edit around that.
Thank you for the advice.
So you did Drake. It went well. And then now you're a celebrity.
Wouldn't say that.
You're making good money.
I haven't made anything yet. Soon.
I've seen the YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
But you haven't gotten it yet, you mean?
Yeah, I have seriously like just debt right now. Lots of debt.
Yeah,
I can't.
$20,000 worth?
I don't have any money
None?
at all. I have debt, actually.
You have debt? How much debt do you have?
Right now, I have like $20,000 of debt.
Probably more now. I just every time a credit card maxes out, I have
An
to
angel
switch
gets
to
his
another.
wings.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. I thought I knew what you were going to say.
I max out another card. I have like 2 cards maxed out right now, so hoping to pay them off soon.
WME isn't going to front that for you?
No.
Because CAA would do that. Wait, the money's in accounts receivable. Why isn't it that you guys aren't helping her out? Isn't that your job? You're making money off her. Why don't you make her life a little easier?
We're trying. There's 2 strikes right now. It's tough.
Oh, you guys, the agency is, what is this, Suits and season 6 and Mike, spoiler alert, just went to prison? You guys got money. Don't you represent some big people?
I'm trying to get her paid as quickly as possible for any of this.
I'm sorry that's happening to you.
It's okay.
I'm sorry you're not getting the support that you need.
I'll be okay.
Yeah. WME, so what's that saying for? Why me? Fucking Jesus Christ. Help your people out. So now you're you have all these big guests.
Uh-huh.
And how does it feel like for them? Do you feel like you felt, I don't subscribe to this, but you said I was doing you a favor when I first went on. Honest, I get that feeling. I do feel that way sometimes on my podcast. I did it because I wanted to do it. It didn't feel like a favor, but I get that feeling. Drake doing it is doing you a favor.
Absolutely.
Of course, he wanted to do it, and I believe that, but that feeling of like, oh, wow, thanks for doing this, Drake.
Yeah.
Have you yet gotten to the point where you feel like you've established credibility in other people's eyes to where these people want to do it with you and you no longer feel like they're doing you a favor, but like, hey, they want to do my podcast? Do you feel that yet?
A little bit.
Is there a different kind of confidence you have going into it?
Yeah.
Could you explain that a little bit? Like how it was before and with that confidence?
I mean, I don't know. It's weird. I have generally speaking, in my life, I have no confidence in anything I do. I'm just like a very insecure person. So I'm starting to gain confidence going into my interviews and stuff. And it does feel good to be like, oh, like people actually we mutually are going to benefit from this. And yeah, it's a good feeling. So I don't know. I just go in more confident and I also use that, I guess, and turn that into humor of just like my evolving confidence. Do
you have brothers or sisters?
Yes.
What made you roll your eyes? You thought that was a non sequitur?
I don't really get how you're going to tie that in.
I'm interested to know how you came up and where the insecurities come from. How many siblings?
A lot. I have
7?
3 older and 1 little. Well, 4 older, 1 little.
But that one extra older we don't really talk about.
No. My dad just found him recently. Found out he had a kid a long time ago. So I always forget to mention that. But I'm getting better at it. It's 4.
Do you know their names?
Yeah.
Maki, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Timmy, Tommy, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian.
So you grew up with 3 siblings, basically.
No, I grew up with all of my siblings.
But one of them you just found.
Well, then that's 4 siblings that I grew up with.
How many siblings do you have?
5.
There's 4 older and 1 younger?
Yes.
Got it. Your parents together?
No.
When did they separate?
When I was 10, they got a divorce. When I was 16, they moved out of the same house.
Lived together for 6 years.
They did, on different sides of the house.
For the kids.
I think that, and just it was easier, less money spent.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the dynamic? Were you?
Oh, they hated each other.
With you and them?
Oh, I wanted them to get married again.
Right. Were you closer to one than the other?
I was closer. No. Maybe my dad.
But your relationship with both your parents was okay?
Yeah.
And you watched them not be okay?
Yes.
Right.
Are you a therapist?
A little bit.
Okay.
I just think it also makes sense that you view people as being mad at you and mean because you grew up in a house where the dynamic was probably that.
Yeah.
Would you say your siblings share in a similar sense of insecurities?
Probably.
Are you close with any of them?
Yeah.
Are they proud of you with this?
Yeah. They're all proud of me.
Where do you feel most confident?
I don't really think anywhere. I feel like with the podcast, even where I feel a little bit confident, I'm like, this is just going to come crashing any day now. It's just your 5 minutes of fame will be up and then you'll be right back to starting over.
What about with your friends, one-on-one, when you guys are laughing and playing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's fine. I feel confident in my friendships.
I could see you not loving this conversation.
Yeah. Thank you.
I am very interested in this and I connect very strongly to this and I will share things if you're interested, but I want to hear about it from you. Is it okay if we lean into this a little bit more or should I move forward?
Sure.
The insecurity, could you explain what that, I could give you an example.
Okay.
An insecurity I might have. I have sometimes, like it might come up, and especially when I was younger, when I got into a little bit more awareness, is a kind of vague term is, oh, these people don't like me. Right? That's like a surface thing. But what does that mean? They don't like you. They think you're mean. They think you're not valuable.
Yeah.
My version of it used to be, I didn't realize that I had to be funny. I didn't realize that if I'm not making jokes, I can't be with you because what I'm going to not like this. And then my jokes got relatively funny enough to where people liked it. And I felt that I better be funny because if I'm not funny, people aren't going to like me. What I didn't realize is I was just doing jokes all the time. And then the problem wasn't that I wasn't funny. The problem was I was just so annoying and always on. So then I got older and the insecurity was if I do a joke or if I'm not even doing a joke and I see somebody look away, am I annoying you? Am I bothering you? And it would make me feel like the insecurity was specifically, am I bothering you? That one. Are you able to explain what your version of that is? Because you said you're insecure all in life, not just performance.
Yeah.
So could you give some examples of what that means?
I don't know. I just feel like I constantly just doubt people's like why would they want to be around me, or like what are your intentions with this, or like I guess are like, especially now. Because that's literally the product you're selling. Well, no, I mean as in like I feel like people obviously want to be my friend right now.
Oh.
So, and now I doubt even more. Like, what are your intentions? You know, I don't know. I guess growing up, it was definitely just like I felt like people were just like, thought I was annoying. And I was always like, I've always been me, the person I am right now. And I feel like growing up, I felt like people just didn't like I always just felt like I was annoying to people, and I was just the weird girl. Thank you.
Fair.
And I am, you know, I don't know. I feel like they're not wrong. So then that's where my insecurities come in. I feel like, I am annoying, or I am whatever. So I don't want to I really don't want to be annoying, and I don't.
Careful.
Thank you.
No, I mean that.
What do you mean?
Because the negative of you being annoying is also literally the reason you have this success right now.
I know.
So by getting rid of the thing.
But I feel like my character helps me to like own my annoying. And that's why I feel like I like this character is I get to be like I get to just become all the things that I think people hate about me, but like a little bit like she's a confident person in, you know? I don't know. It doesn't really make sense. I feel like when I say it out loud, but yeah.
That's 100%. That's why I do comedy.
Yeah.
And I love learning how to better kind of control it. Not control how other people see me. I've learned I have no way of doing that. Just kind of control of like, this is what I'm doing, I'm supposed to be doing. This is funny. But like, I asked you before, like when that uncomfort goes away, what does the character then become?
I don't think I'll ever be like, I think it's like I'm owning how uncomfortable I feel in my regular life. I don't think I'll ever not feel uncomfortable in my like day-to-day life or in just my normal. My normal is like a socially awkward person who doesn't know how to like what to do in social settings. And I don't know that that'll ever go away. That's just who I've been like that for 26 years. I don't see that going away. So I think that's always going to be there. And even when I like do interviews, it's like, people think probably that I just like snap into this character who's really awkward, but it's like, no, I was already really awkward. And then I watch you literally once you're in your head for a second, and I'll take responsibility for being really good at this, that you kind of I feel uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't think that's going to go away. So you're like, oh, what happens when you like that uncomfort goes away? I don't think it'll ever go away.
Tell me some examples, at least one from Drake on after, where you felt you were in a pocket and like you were being awkward or weird, but in a good way, where you're like, during
the podcast?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess now I'm just able to like, I know this character. I try to build, and that's why I think it'll be like a long lasting thing, is I build off of the like how uncomfortable. So going into Yachty's episode, I genuinely felt so uncomfortable getting to his house.
I know that Drake is tall, but he prefers to be referred to as Little Yachty, please.
Yes. Okay.
Some people, it's their.
Okay. No. Going into Yachty's house, I felt really uncomfortable. Like it was such an uncomfortable setting.
Because everything was so small and low?
No, because are you going to fuck with me, or do you want the real answer?
Do you want the real answer of what you just asked me?
Yeah.
I want to fuck around too.
Okay.
I want to be able to ask you questions while also making jokes and then still carry on with the conversation.
Okay. That's hard for me to do.
And I think that try it out.
Okay. I'm trying.
I believe that jokes and sincerity aren't mutually exclusive.
I have a hard time with that.
All right, how about this? How about I've been trying. I
can't tell. When you joke, I feel like you don't care to hear the sincere answer.
That's not true.
Then I don't want to give you a sincere answer.
Okay.
Okay.
I believe that you believe that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you the truth. That isn't what it is.
Okay.
He was telling you the truth. He was joking around and playful with the countdown from 20.
I don't believe that though either. And even if he says that, I still feel like he probably felt a little bit uncomfortable with how you were acting.
Okay.
Okay.
Cameras are off.
They're not off.
Okay, then I won't ask. So the past 15 minutes, I've been asking questions that I've been genuinely interested in.
And I've been...
Yes, and it's been great, and I'm learning, and I've been loving it.
Is that what your podcast is? Just to be... I haven't watched
okay.
more than clips. I was just asking, is it like a genuine thing? Are you actually talking to people
so many
genuinely?
jokes. I mean, you literally had diarrhea on me. But we also have sincere conversations.
Rick.
Rich.
Stop doing that. What do you want to know? What is happening anymore?
I want to be able to. I want to be able to.
2:00. I have a meeting at.
We get into it right. You want to go?
No, I have a meeting in at like 5.
So we have 3 hours left.
10 minutes. I have 10 minutes.
Oh, I just want you to know when he says you have 10 minutes, I know what that is, and you're reading the room. We have until 2:30. We already confirmed it. So what you just did was try to protect him, and what I just did was bully you back, and that's the kind of agent you have. She has a half hour, but you can leave whenever you want.
Thank you.
So what I want to do is I want to be able to ask questions and learn about you, but also be able to fucking be funny and fun and light and do bits and talk about how Little Yachty is shorter than Tall Drake because of the fun game we established and how big Drake is. No! You said you don't know how big Drake is. I said, is he tall? It's a classic gag between two, industry plants. Have some fun with me. For fuck's sake.
I'm trying my best.
You know what? If I believed it, I would be calmer. I think what you're doing is you're trying to survive.
I am. I don't know what's happening.
You can't try your best when you're trying to survive.
Okay.
When you're trying to survive, you just want to feel okay. When you feel okay, you get to shine.
I don't even know how this is going to amount to a good episode for you.
It's not, but there'll be a clickbait with you on the thumbnail.
I told you you're using me. My newfound popularity.
I won't subscribe to that.
Okay.
I won't subscribe to that because I liked what you did from the moment.
Thank you.
And we've talked about that since.
I believe that, yeah.
And I've been so excited watching this for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's wild.
Thank you.
So jokes and sincerity, I want to make sure that that's real.
Okay. Now a joke.
Yeah. I mean, not a joke, but what do we have now? 27 minutes left? I mean, how do you feel? Do you want to get out of here now?
I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how this is going to become like a good episode for you, but I trust you because when I feel that, sometimes it turns into something that's like I can watch later. So I trust that this will turn into something that's watchable.
I would argue that this, out of all the intentionally awkward stuff, is probably one of the more awkward podcasts that you have out so far. Because it seems like you made a choice to go in on the other ones being a certain thing. Mm-hmm. And here you're coming in and out of it and you're getting mad at me as if I'm pulling you and pushing you in and out of it. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I'll be the bad guy. I'm people call me the Batman of podcasting because, he's a vigilante. He shouldn't be doing this. He's annoying. He could still dunk. He played against LeBron James. He's really cool. He's actually the best basketball player in comedy right now. You could watch the Blake Griffin episode. But what I'm saying is, at least we're getting to know you a little bit. And this is going to be so corny. Maybe I shouldn't say it.
You said that exact line during our episode.
Should I say that maybe you're getting to know yourself a little?
That's true. Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, listen, I'll be the punching bag.
Okay.
I could already see the comments. That tall guy, he's too good looking to be a comedian. Why is he fucking with Bobbi? Bobbi's way more successful than him. Bobbi's funnier.
No one's going to say that. It's going to be your people who are just like, ha ha ha, Rick, I love you. She's so annoying.
I'm excited for you to start taking this on a little bit more.
I feel like I am a little bit.
Do you have, your agent told me that you had some type of a dance choreograph for me? Do you want to do that now?
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you have any other questions for me?
Yeah.
Okay, ask them.
Your parents talk to each other now?
Why are they like...
Okay. Batman. I guess I have a couple more questions.
Okay.
Could you reveal any people that are coming up? This episode comes out next week. So people already saw who just came out.
Okay, Tyga. Yeah.
You don't want to say who's up after that?
I just said Offset. That's all I can reveal right now.
Okay. And then whoever I bleeped earlier.
maybe hopefully that happens.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll see. I'll ask him too.
Go ahead, ask him. I don't know. We'll see. I have a lot of people. You know how it works. You have a lot of people that you hope to get on that it's like maybe going to happen with, and we'll see when it actually happens.
I find the hardest part, which is incidentally is becoming easier and easier for you, so it seems. Not the most work, but the hardest part about podcasting is booking.
Yeah, no, I still see that.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with like schedules, is I want to get one every week out. So I just kind of like, I'm winging it. I go week by week right now.
How many do you have in the can?
One.
Just offset. You have Tiger this week, offset next week.
Yeah.
And incidentally, we have nothing to offset that one. You have nothing else in the can.
Nothing else.
Well, if you ever need a guest and you don't have one, I would love for you to be able to have my dad on so we could talk about Marshall Rug Gallery.
If you're looking for just the right flooring, you need choices. And at Marshall Carpet One, you'll find thousands of choices, including carpet, hardwood, rugs, and luxury vinyl. So make the right choice and visit Marshall Carpet One and Rug Gallery. And we promise, with more than 50 years as a family-owned business, we've got you covered!
Would you be willing to do that?
If I get desperate enough, I will do that.
I was just doing like what people do, like buttering you up.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in conclusion, I don't feel like I thought that we were going to get to know each other a little bit more. And
I feel like we did.
I feel like I got to know you a little bit. I feel like you're so unsure about me.
No, I'm not unsure about you. I feel like we're very similar.
Same.
You feel the same way?
I mean, we're 4 years apart, but...
We're not 4 years apart, but I
You're
do
right,
feel
3.
like...
You just turned 26.
I feel like we are very similar, though, like personality, humor-wise.
Something I did want to talk about on here at some point, and I'm not going to pull them up, it's not worth reading them, but like, there are a fair amount of comments on our episode that either thought you were an asshole, I was an asshole, and that you were trolling me and I had no idea.
Yeah.
And that, or vice versa, that you, and I told you, I find those so flattering.
Yeah, me too.
I'll explain why for me, but tell me why for you.
Just because it means that like I'm great at acting. Didn't know that about myself.
Because they believe it, right?
Yeah.
But what's interesting about that is earlier you said you don't want people to believe it. That's why you don't go as hard.
No, I mean like I want to act one day. So those comments do piss me off in the sense that I'm like, guys, this is a joke. Why aren't you like in on it? But then they also flatter me in the sense that like, oh, maybe one day I could actually make it as an actress.
I only like it. I feel like our only job is to commit to whatever it is we're doing. I
don't feel like I commit fully. You commit.
Well, I'm in and out of it with you.
Yeah, I'm not in and out of it like you are though. So like I don't commit. Like when people know when I'm doing it and people know when I'm not.
I disagree.
Really?
That's kind of what I was getting at before, like with somebody being upset or knowing that it was a joke or not or whatever. You'll never know when people know what you're doing and what you're not doing. You'll never know if people think you're being obvious, even when it's so obvious. I have some videos that is so obviously fake and people think it's real. I
know, but I'm saying the overall, I feel like overall people know when I'm.
The only reason here's an example. People that were seeing the podcast when it first came out, and a lot of people came that already knew me because I shared it on my community page and like the thumbnail podcast people saw it. Some people got it and some people thought, Rick, sorry you had to go through that. She was such an asshole.
Yeah.
Now people know you and they're coming back to our episode and they don't know me and it's the same exact thing but reversed. Yeah. I'm the asshole. But it was the same exact thing. You'll never be able to control it.
Yeah.
And I think the best version that we could do is doing what we think is best and funniest. But like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, definitely the coffee's in and I'm I love talking about this stuff and winding down, so I won't get into too much more, but I just think the space that you're in where give yourself a little bit more credit of like, you don't know what you're doing. That's the whole game of it, you know? Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I want to talk more about not knowing what's real and what's not, but perhaps another time.
If you have some questions.
No, it's more or less just like comedy philosophy and intention. Like, you're doing this, and let's assume that you're going to keep going and doing it. What do you want to commit to? Like, do you want to get to the point, because you said you're doing less and less awkward. Do you want to get to the point where you're just interviewing?
No, I'm not doing less and less awkward. I'm just saying I am awkward, so it's always going to be there, but it's feeling less and less.
You said you want to do more where like you have real questions.
Yeah, I probably said, honestly, a lot of things that like I'm going to look back and I'm going to be like, what did you say that for? I don't know. I just say things sometimes and they mean nothing. But I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm going to do going forward. I don't know a lot of things. I'm like, you know how I said you're really smart? I'm really stupid. So like, I don't know. I don't know anything.
Do you think that's true?
Oh, he does. I'm definitely like at least a little bit stupid, okay?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what kind of money do you think you'll be making next month?
A lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got ads coming in?
Yep.
Big ones?
Yep.
You got Marshall Rug Gallery as a sponsor?
Nope. Not doing that.
Why not?
I don't know.
I did you a favor. Why won't you do my dad a favor? It'll help support my grandma.
All right, go buy a rug. I looked it up and I couldn't find anything, so I don't believe that fully, but like, go buy a rug from Marshall Rugs. Yeah. Something.
All right. Well, what do you want to plug anything?
No, I don't need that right now. Okay, sorry. He needs that.
If you're looking for just the right flooring, you need choices. And at Marshall Carpet One, you'll certainly find them.
I don't have anything to plug for myself because for obvious reasons. But
what are you saying?
Go buy a rug at Marshall Rug something.
All right, let's spend the last 3 minutes.
That's a long time.
All right, the last 5. What did you feel going into this? Could you tell me the truth?
Uncomfortable.
Before we even saw each other in the lobby.
Just like I knew it would turn out okay.
But you were uncomfortable?
Yeah. You make me uncomfortable.
Would you be uncomfortable if we were doing this and it wasn't a podcast?
Like just sitting here talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you like, I don't know, like, am I is he
So
an
that's
asshole?
a dance?
Is he?
I like that.
I don't get you.
I feel like we're very similar. Same.
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I think you're nice. I think that you're like a nice person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people will comment on mine or my guest appearances on other podcasts, or I think they think they're being nice, and in a way they are. They go, I couldn't fucking stand him at first, and now I get it. And then they like me.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you don't think somebody's funny, you just don't think they're funny. When people, I have noticed for me, don't think I'm funny, they actually dislike me. They actually don't like me.
Yeah, we've got you and me both.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't like me either.
But yet you don't. But here we are. Two very likable assholes.
Two people who a lot of people hate.
Well, people get it now, right?
People still hate. People still hate.
What's my reputation around WME?
Everybody loves you.
Yeah?
People who know the real you like you. I'm just saying, when people just see you on the...
Well, on my podcast, people get to know the real me.
Yeah.
And they don't with you. And I think that's great.
True.
I think that's great. I mean, there's pros and cons to both. You found a niche that's great.
Uh-huh.
But also, as people get to know you a little bit, then it adds kind of dynamics to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just interesting that you didn't know me at all. I figured you would have watched tons of my episodes.
I don't have time for that. I have 2 small children.
Oh, you're a mom?
Yes.
All right. You're to hear first. She has 2 small children and she's a mom. And there's nothing you want to plug?
Nope.
Are you happy?
I'm okay.
This is a very, I've only done a couple episodes that aren't like actually at my place. So this feels like I don't have home court advantage.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how this will be received for the thumbnail. Do you want me to do you want me to make it like choose a pretty picture, a funny picture? Do you want to look to your camera and give a couple options?
No.
But will you?
No.
Will you just go like this?
I don't pose and I'm not going to smile at the camera.
Okay.
I don't know what you're going to do with this episode. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't know how long it'll be. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know if anyone will watch it. I'm sure they'll watch it just because they're trying to figure out who I really am. But
do you think they'll get any insight?
I think a little bit. They're going to be like, oh yeah, she's actually weird. That sucks.
That sucks for them, or that sucks?
That sucks for like everyone, all parties.
Do you think weird people don't have a place in the society?
I think that people like hope that I'm more normal outside of my character, and then they're gonna be like, oh God, she's not fully normal. She's actually pretty weird, and that sucks.
Would you say that they might be like, oh fuck, it turns out she's human after all?
Most humans don't act like me. They're not like socially awkward and weird.
Have you seen your agent?
He's slightly less socially awkward
Look
than
at that.
me.
Look how awkward he is. He's literally, come on. How much time do we have left?
None.
10 minutes
We're
is wrapped.
done.
We gotta go.
Thanks for coming.
I need to go.
Congratulations on getting Mark Cuban.
Thank you. Do you want to talk to him? You're gonna get him on yours? He's a really cool guy. I love him.
Mark Cuban. That he's definitely on my board of one of my top people I want.
Go ask Andrew.
But do you think Andrew will get Mark Cuban on my podcast?
I think Andrew could get Mark Cuban on your podcast.
Really?
Yeah. I'll take your shoes off.
If Andrew gets Mark Cuban on my podcast, I'll come on over to WME.
All right. We'll shake on it.
So awkward. Bobbi, thank you for coming on. Congratulations. Congratulations on the success.
You could be nice. You can say nice things.
Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Rick. I'm sure my 5 minutes of fame will be up soon, so you better get this uploaded fast.
No, you're gonna keep getting good with this. You're finding your pocket, like you said. You will.
Maybe I'll just end, and then people like 5 years from now will be like, oh, do you remember when you randomly did cool things?
Give me 2 more minutes. Is that really something you think about?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Can I solicit some advice?
Sure.
Okay, I don't have to. I don't want to do it if you're not interested.
I would love your advice.
It's the same advice you get in AA.
Okay.
Day by day, baby.
That's exactly what I'm taking. But I also, you have to think when you have little kids, like this is probably going to end soon, and it's okay.
I feel that way with every season of television I get, and there have been a lot. But like, you don't know when it's coming back. So.
Yeah. But hopefully one day I can transition into acting. I have big goals for myself, but I'm also not going to be disappointed if none of them happen.
If WME was as big as they claim they are and could get you into any movie or TV show or a genre, what would be, that's what you want to do?
Just like The Office type of stuff.
So you want to do sitcoms?
I could never do like, I'm not going to do any type of like dramatic acting or anything, but like, stuff like that.
Do you write?
No.
No?
I probably could. I don't have time right now, but I probably could.
Well, you're not allowed to right now.
Well, yeah, you can write.
You're not allowed.
I thought you could write.
No, I actually it's tough ordering food in Los Angeles because all the waiters are servers and they just have to remember my order. And I have a lot of modifications. They can't write anything down.
Okay.
So we stand strong with the WGA, with SAG. Are you picketing?
I'm not a part of any of them.
You know what? That's just perception. We think you're a part of it. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, Rick.
And
I wish you success with your acting career and your podcasting career. I hope you get as big as me one day.
Oh, thanks. I'd be happy if I was as tall as Drake. Actually, how tall is Drake?
I don't know. Go Google.
Thanks for coming on, Bobbi. And as I say at the end of every one of my podcasts, if you ain't doing it big, hey, it's up to you, man. So keep on swinging. And don't be mad if you miss, because everybody you could get in the Hall of Fame from
You say
just
so many
30%.
things that like don't like. I don't even get what you're saying. Like I'm trying to make sense of the sentences, and then I'm just like, that's.
Why do you think that is?
I'm really stupid.
I hate you, Rick. I hope you have a great rest of your life. I hope to never see you again.
Is that real?
Yep. No, we're gonna be best friends, Rick.
So for those of you that were wondering how this podcast works and what she's really like, yeah, she's weird, but I'm going to stand up not for you, but for the people at home. If you feel you're a little socially awkward, if you feel you're a little different, and if you feel judged, you know what? It's not you and it's not them. You're beautiful and you matter and you're important. So to all my weird goblins out there, as I always say, chop it up. You might have fun. My name's Rick Glassman. Enjoy the rest of your day. And then the theme music comes in, and then it's just us talking like, oh, it's like, how's it going? And then And then it's going to show like episodes you can click on. I'll do our episode.
That's amazing.
Will be at the top, middle, and then 2 other of my episode.
Bye, Rick.
Bye.
Scoop
That's it.
Blabbity blue. Scoop D. Oh yeah.